Your journey is nothing short but remarkable, man. And I'm really interested to hear about the beginning. What was your childhood like, bro?
Childhood was good, bro. Obviously, I didn't meet dad till I was 6 or 7. That was more my mum's doing. Like, there was a one night stand, bit of an accident, all happy days. But, mum just said, I don't need you. I'm good. It was a mistake. It happens. I'll correct it. I'll look after him. And then my dad's family actually found out about me, and they said if you have a son and we have like a nephew, we want to meet this kid. So we got introduced to the family, and got very close with dad's side of the family. And growing up, always very heavily in sport, played semi-professional soccer, football, growing up, from tiny tot, so 4 years old, all the way through to I was 18. Went to school for soccer. So we had soccer as a subject at school, very sport orientated. If I wasn't playing sport, I was with the boys, like playing football on the weekend anyway. We always knew that if we said hello and we got a response back from him, it was going to be an okay afternoon. But if we didn't respond to us saying hello, we just knew it was going to be a fucked afternoon. So,
Yeah.
But other than that, bro, I can't really complain about my childhood. Like, as fucked as it may have been, like my mum did a great job, pretty much a single mum once he finally left my stepdad. And yeah, bro, I can't fault my mother at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, my mother's still a huge part of my life, and will probably forever be a part of my life, bro.
I was reading too, man, that you were a rising football star with a promising future.
I wouldn't say rising, but like I played top leagues at Brisbane and Queensland like my whole childhood and up until I was 18. And then, yeah, bro, I just found the party scene as soon as I turned 18. And legit after like my first 2 weekends at clubbing, I just said, nah, this is too good to give up. So I just, went in on the following Tuesday after the second Saturday of clubbing. And I just said to my coach, I said, I'm done, bro. So unfortunately, just got a little bit too much. And I knew I was never going to be a professional footballer. So I just, it was like, more so career, plumbing apprenticeship, as well as just enjoying being 18 and clubbing all the time.
And whereabouts in the path did you realise, what caused you to derail? Was there a moment or a person that you met?
So the person that got me into like the life of crime was, I met this bloke when I was 17, 18, with a few of my childhood best mates that actually moved in with this bloke. And I think he might have been early 20s, mid 20s, big gold chains, tatted up, huge, juiced up, Frenchies, all the nice cars, money piles everywhere, money counter, kilos of meth. And then, pretty much meeting this guy when I was 17, 18, but I couldn't believe this guy's lifestyle. Didn't work, just going to the gym whenever he wanted, eating takeout every day. Like, I was like, fuck, girls coming in and out. And I was like, it's supposed like a proper gangster. I'd always been grown up around drugs and whatnot with my stepdad, but like never seen money, never seen drugs. Like I just knew my stepdad was doing drugs, but I've never seen it. So I just just really opened up my eyes and thinking like, fuck, because I didn't come from money. And I was like, fuck, this guy's got all the money in the world. And all my mates were doing work with him at the time, and they started having a bit of money and taking us all out for dinners with their cash. And I was like, fuck, like I want this. This is what I want. I want to be able to provide. I want to be able to have money, have power. And unfortunately, bro, that was where my career in crime started.
Yeah. So was it just fast money? It was just, that's what really
when it really started, bro, was when I moved out for the first time with my first partner, being a second year apprentice, on second year wages. I was like, I can't afford rent. That was like $365 at the time, on $450, $500 a week wage, as well as trying to cover for groceries and all that sort of shit. So I was like, it was just more so to be able to provide and live comfortably.
Yeah.
I never did dumb shit with don't get me wrong. I did do a lot of dumb shit, but like I wasn't out, like everything I did was to provide. It wasn't just to flex. It wasn't to be a mad cunt, as much as I went through that phase when I developed a lot of money, but it was always strictly to provide for me and my family.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. People that, have dived into that world, it's highly addictive, isn't it? It has like that appeal to it. What was something that I think you wished you have learned about diving into this world?
to do like what a crime,
Yeah.
just not to do it.
Yeah.
Like I look now and I'm like, it's very, very rare that there's no one that comes out of it unscathed.
Yeah.
Whether it's jail, not many people are dying in Brisbane and Queensland. Down south, different story. But like, there's not many people that do well that actually don't come out unscathed with jail or like some severe loss. You know, people fucking them over or something severe. Like even the boys at the top, like a lot of them have had their losses, been to jail, come out, learn from it, and unfortunately a lot of them go back into that life. But for me, it was just like, you know, jail was rock bottom for me. So it was just like, I refused to be away from my family and have that guilt of not being able to provide for my family.
Yeah.
It was, jail was easy, but being away from my daughter and my missus, like it fucking broke me every day. Like it was so difficult, bro. Like it just, the bond I have with my daughter, like you would have seen it, like everyone knows it. It's something that I can't put into words how powerful it makes me feel.
Yeah.
So being away from that and not being able to hold her every night was just gut wrenching.
Yeah. So what did they charge you on?
Trafficking.
Yeah. Yeah. And how much are we talking about in dollars?
Millions.
Fuck me.
So at the moment, yeah, they're like 4 or 5 mil worth of stuff plus cash.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if I actually get charged with it, like there's a high chance like I could do 10 plus years. Where in Queensland, if you get charged for 10 plus years, you got to serve 90%.
Yeah.
But if you get under 10, you only got to serve a third. So like realistically, we're just kicking goals if we get under 10.
Yeah.
But like all of it's messages, none of it's hard evidence. Like it's all messages. So, you know, I'm hopeful and I'm obviously coming to God now. Like I'm very praying to God and the good that I'm putting out into the world, that, you know, I'll also receive good in return.
Yeah.
So
one of the things that's really encouraging about you, man, is because of this life experience, you're giving a positive message to all the young boys out there to stay on the right path. And if you can take me back, mate, when you first were in your cell, you know, how did that feel? Like, you know, and I can imagine too, man, like it's pretty fucking scary. You don't know who to trust in jail.
Well, my stepdad did like 8 or 10 years and I always listened to his stories of the fighting, the violence, the gangs. And I was like, and he always said, he goes, when you go into jail, you just got to flog the biggest cunt you can find and, you know, assert your dominance and make sure that everyone knows that you're not going to fuck around. So like in my head, I was like, sweet, I'm just going to have to walk in here and just, and I'm not a fighter, bro. You know, I might look the way I do, but I'm the furthest thing from violent. I've had like 3 fights my whole life and I was completely cooked off my head. You know, thinking I'm Mike Tyson on the pitch as we all do.
Yeah.
And so like in my head, like, I was fucking petrified. Like honestly, like in that holding cell down the bottom where they proceed you, or where they process you, and then coming up to the unit, I was like, I'm going to have to flog the big cunt here. Like, and I was so anxious, bro, because I was like, what am I walking into? You know, gangs, violence, aggression, like Sandover cunts, bikies. Like, I had no idea what the fuck I was walking into. And honestly, walking in was the best feeling that I've ever had because everyone just straight away, sup, bro, how are you? What's your name? What are you in for? Like, fuck, so polite, so respectful, probably looking the way I do. There's that level of respect already because most boys in jail, they're missing 90% of their teeth. They're cracked out junkies. So like looking the way I do, respectful, muscular, big, it's pretty obvious some self-respect. People obviously knew, okay, sweet, this guy's just not going to be some faggot junkie. So like the boys that ran the unit, they all gravitated towards me immediately because they could obviously see that I'm not a spastic like the rest of people in jail. So that was very warming for me because I was like, thank fuck I got in with like the cool group realistically. So I was like, sweet. But like the first few nights, I had this fat celly, Stephen, big ranger, got done to smoking meth and shooting up heroin, but he snored so loud, bro. And I couldn't, and I normally, back then when I got done, I was asleep 6, 7, 8 o'clock latest at night. Those first few nights, bro, it took me months well, not months, but weeks to get into a good sleep routine because I was so anxious about not being with my family. I was staying up till 2, 3, 4 a.m. Every night, not being able to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I had this fat fuck on top of me snoring the roof down as well. Thank fuck I only had him for 2 nights. But those first 2 nights, bro, were absolutely hell.
Yeah.
And then on my 3rd day, the boys that ran the unit were like, hey, bro, like, do you want a job with us? And I was like, yeah, fucking oath. Like, get me involved with the boys. Like, yeah, sweet, because they're out all day. If you're not a worker, you're locked away for 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you're only out for 4 hours. And I was like, yeah, sweet, get me out. Like, get me out of this fucking cell. Like, I don't want to be in here for 20 hours. Like, my fucking mind was going crazy. And then got me out, legit moved all my stuff downstairs into the working cell with all the boys out in the yard. And the screw goes, Wallace, you're out of here. Pack your shit. And I was like, fuck. Then that just anxious feeling of me again, because I was like, now I have to go into a new environment where I don't know what I'm walking into. And it was called the commo unit, so bikies. And I was like, sweet, like, what the fuck's going to go on up here? Get in there. There's no one in there except one bloke that's a bikie. And luckily I knew him. And me and him got along well. So, you know, same deal. Took me under his wing. Gave me a whole bunch of stuff to start off. Said, hey, brother, he was running the unit. He goes, bro, here, oats, rice cakes, tuna, a basket. It's all yours, brother. Here you go. I'll look after you. So instantly that anxious feeling went away. And then on my first day, one of the workers left, and I was seeing one of the guards talking to one of the workers, and goes, oh, we need a new worker. And I was like, oh, fuck, chief, give me a job. And he goes, do you use? I said, nah. He goes, do you actually don't use? I said, no, fuck that. I just want to train and do my time and get out. He goes, sweet, when you get back, you're a worker. So instantly on my first day, I was in with the cool group. And yeah, pretty much from there, bro, I just trained, ate, put out as much positive energy into the unit. Like I was running, they call me the commando. I thought the biggest loser.
Yeah, right.
Because I was running like 20, 30, 40 man boot camps every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, just a lot of energy, good energy, telling all the boys, just trying to show these boys inside that there's more to life than just shooting up every day. You know, and it's sad, bro. Jail's a very sad place.
100%, man. And not only that too, man, like, you know, you were saying you're missing your family as well. It can be difficult to trust people, you know, let alone outside than inside. But by the sound of it, man, you were saying everyone was very welcoming.
Well, that's the thing, but I've seen it a few times where boys come in like, yeah, I'm a sick cunt, and they get brought undone very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so me being anxious as fuck, I was like, there's no way I'm going in like that, because I'll just get my head jumped up. Because like I said, I'm not a fighter. Like I'll stand my ground, but like 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to get my head kicked in. So I was like, I'm just going to go in, be respectful. That way that no one has any need to come after me. Exactly what I did, and everyone just treated me with the exact same respect. You know, it's the boys that went in there thinking, yeah, I'm a sick cunt, I do this, I do that, I make this much money. Bro, I watched the most, not the scariest, but like the only thing that wasn't tattooed was this part of his face. Covered in tattoo, ex-bikie. This young fella, him, they got into a bit of an argument in the yard, and this guy that was fully tatted up, like, I fucking kill cunts, you don't want this smoke, brother, I'll fucking kill you. This little 21-year-old broke his fucking ankle with one punch, like, just big left hook, dropped him, broke his ankle because he's tripped back, and then just got booted in the face. Yeah. And like, I was like, that's like these young boys that have grown up on the streets, like they've fought for survival. That's right. They will fucking bang on with anyone. They don't give a fuck. And like, they're all junkies too, like shooting up every day. So like, they do not give a fuck. Yeah. So like, for me, it was just like, treat everyone with respect, and they'll get the same respect given. Was
there ever a moment, man, that you felt, you know, really scared?
Nah.
No.
I never allowed myself to be put in a position. And because that guy that I knew from the outside, like, he'd done 12 years. Like, he was a big name in jail. Like, everyone knew who this bloke was. And because he was a mate of mine, everyone just automatically assumed that I was a part of his crew, which I was inside, but like everyone thought I was a commo because of him. So like in jail, commos are like very well respected. Like most bikies, if you're in a particular unit, whoever's running the unit, they're the ones that run the unit. So, you know, and he was very like, no drugs on the floor. No one's allowed to shoot up in front of us. So like everyone respected him. And I just sort of reciprocated that energy. So like, you know, I'd start calling boys out. Like if they shoot up and leave blood on the floor in the toilet, I'm like, well, you can't. Like, who's fucking leaving blood and shit in here? And they're like, oh, sorry, Trai, we fucking. I said, bro, fucking, you know the drill. Don't do it in here because everyone has to use this toilet. Go do it down the back, out in the yard where you're meant to. And I thought, oh, sorry, brother. So everyone sort of had that level of respect for my mate, which I then just took on as well, because everyone just thought that I was pretty much like him. Yeah. And at the time, I had that big, long ratty. So everyone and I remember my first conversation with the guy was like, fuck, bro, how long have you done? And I was like, no, it's my first day. He goes, fuck, bro, you look like you've done 10 years. And I'm like, no, bro, this is my first hour in here. And he goes, fuck, bro, you look like you've been here for years. Yeah. No, bro, first time.
And that level of respect, man, I mean, respect has to be earned too. And I can imagine as well, man, like you were in there with fucking, you know, probably murderers, rapists, and all sorts of people. But as far as staying in your own lane, like everyone's pretty respectful.
Yeah, bro. Like I said,
Yeah.
like the boys that try and step up and be that macho hero, like I said, they get found undone very quickly.
Yeah.
Like there's some boys in there, like I said, that legit fought for survival, fought for their food on the streets.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they'll bang on with anyone, but they've got no fear.
Yeah.
These young boys. Like I met some boys in there that just did not give a flying fuck. 21, 22-year-olds that have been in jail 4 or 5 years and just relentless.
Yeah.
But like obviously very heavily cooked on drugs.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's that mindset that they have where they're cooked, so they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And they've been banging on in the streets for their whole life. So like they'll just bang on with anyone that disrespects them.
Yeah. And what were you doing to fill your day?
So I had a very strict routine, you know, and the whole unit pretty much had the same routine. So as a worker, you're out from 7 o'clock in the morning till pretty much 6 p.m. at night, where everyone else was locked away for 20 hours. So for me, you come out in the morning, I'd bring my missus, do the breakfast toast. I would make toast for the whole unit, drop it all out to every unit, every cell, eat. Everyone would eat as they come out at 9 o'clock. I would cut laps in the yard as everyone would, or all the boys that come out at 9 a.m. would all jump on the phone, call their families, their missus, whoever. I'd just cut laps with a few of the boys. And then at about 9:30, 10 o'clock, everyone would clear the yard so us boys could train. Shirts come off, vibes went high, morale went up, music went on, and we just did our fucking circuits every day. And then we'd go in, eat again, and like I'd always make like an overnight oats thing and have it ready for me, ready to go with some jam, peanut butter, a little bit of sugar and milk, and mix it up and leave it in the fridge. So that way after training, I could get into it, and we'd have like milk with Milo. That was our protein shake. Yeah, that was the highest form of protein with some beef jerky. Yeah. So I did my absolute best to, try and, stick to as good of eating as possible, but obviously you're very restricted in there. And then at lunchtime at 12 o'clock, the boys would go away, would deliver out all their meals to their cells.
Yeah.
And then after that, the workers have the opportunity to go back in their cell. And I would, because the afternoon crew were just all the young junkie boys. So I'd just go away, have a shower, lay down, watch TV, normally have a nap, come out again at like 3, 4 o'clock when the dinner time meals arrived, and then deliver them all out to the boys, stay out till 6, 7 o'clock, give all the laundry back, call my missus a couple more times before bed, speak to my family, and then go to sleep for the night.
Yeah. And did they feed you all right? How was the food?
I reckon if I had to put like a calorie count on it, I reckon you'd be lucky to have up to 2,400 calories a day if you just ate the few meals they gave you.
Yeah.
Well, but like for me, like I got pretty lucky. Like the boys looked after me. I'd swap because all the junkies, they just want chocolate, cans of Coke, all the bullshit. So I'm like, we get me protein bars and I'll give you 2 blocks of chocolate. So I'm getting like 10, 15 protein bars, all this beef jerky. So like I did my best to eat as clean and good as possible. Like the first 2 weeks I put on 11 kilos because I didn't have much, I didn't have a lot of structure at the time. So I was just eating a lot of bread because you get a loaf of bread a day. So I was eating a fuckload of bread. And then when I went down for my first blood test, I jumped on the scales. I was like, fuck, I put on a fuckload of weight. So from that day, I just cut out bread completely.
Yeah.
And yeah, just had tried to have a lot. Like we get eggs on a Wednesday, I think. I can't really remember how it was structured, but like a lot of the junkies, I'm like, I'll give you a can of Coke for your boiled eggs. I'm like, yeah, sweet. So I just get like 20 boiled eggs from all the boys in the unit, just leave it in the fridge and just have like eggs on rice cakes with some tuna every day as a bit of a snack. And yeah, you just find ways to sort of make it as good as possible.
Yeah. Were there any incidents that caught you off guard? Like, did you see bashings, like people
There
getting
was like
shanked?
no shanks. It's pretty up. Oh, I don't know. I've heard different stories, but like I met a guy that was getting done again because he shanked a few of his cellies. But like getting caught with a shank in jail, like you might as well get caught with a gun on the outside. Like you get fucked. So a lot of boys just don't even take that fucking risk anymore.
Yeah.
But like bashings, yeah, I've seen the old mate that broke his ankle, but then I seen 2 that were like disgusting, like yuck to watch. And it was on the same guy. So this guy rolled in and my mate, the commo, had his little, like nom almost. They were at fucking Woodford like 4 or 5 years ago. And this Abo guy rolled in, this black fella, and they're like, "Oi, you fucking left our unit." Like, they call it bailing. So if you go up to the guards and say, "Oi, guard, I need to leave because I've done something wrong. I don't want to be here anymore. I fear for my safety." They call it you bail from a unit. And in jail with the politics, if you bail from a unit, like, you're fucked. Like, people, and that never leaves you. Like, the number one rule in jail is no matter what you're going through, never bail. Because if you bail, you got to go to the boneyard with all the rapists and the kitty touchers and shit. Because you do that, it just ruins your reputation in jail. This happened 4 years ago, bro. This guy rolls in there like, "Oi, bro, you fucking bailed from our unit, cunt." He's like, no, it wasn't me. They're like, "Yeah, it was." Next day, we all get let out. Old mate's like, "Come on, bro, outside. You bailed." He's like, no. He goes, "All right, I'm going for a visit. When I come back, you're fucked." Legit, as this guy walked in, just like elbows here. Like, this guy could bang on.
Yeah.
Elbows here and just completely fucked this guy's face. Like, yucked. And he's walking around the whole unit with blood everywhere. I'm like, "Bro, get the fuck outside," because I've got to clean it. Like, I'm the unit worker. So I'm like, "Get outside, bro. You can fucking put blood everywhere."
Yeah.
And the guards, because the blackfellas are always so rude and disrespectful, depending who was on, the guards would let it go because they didn't like the blackfellas because they're so rude and disrespectful. If the blackfellas were getting flogged, the guards would just be like, "Oh, you fucking cut it out." Like, where normally they'd run in and fucking swarm the whole unit. But if it was like one of the blackfellas getting flogged, they'd just be like, "Oh, fucking ease up, boys," and they'd let it go.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he was on the bus to go to Woodford, and that other little nom comes out in the morning when he's on the with his gear ready to go. He goes, "Oi, outside." He goes, "No, fucking old mate got me yesterday." He goes, "Yeah, but I didn't." And he just refused to go. He just stood next to the guards and just wouldn't move. So old mate just fucking ragdolled him outside. And like, he was like this on the ground and just picked him up by the back of his shirt and just buried his face in the concrete. And then all the guards rolled in, the paper spray just kind of got dusted and ended up down in the detention unit. But yeah, that was gross.
Yeah. What's the biggest misunderstanding people have about prison?
It's not like jail with the food court. Everyone's like, "Oh, is it like swap? Like everyone just gets swapped on a tray?"
Yeah.
Nah, all your foods get delivered to your unit. And then us unit workers, like, it comes in like little cardboard boxes with a plastic sleeve. And then we go and deliver it out to all the cells.
Yeah. And you obviously had a bit of time to chat with the other guys in there and what they were done for. What was their mindset? Like, I'm sure like there would have been some young people in there that you would have seen too.
So like, but I was in with a guy that had done 28 years. And the longest he'd been out in 28 years is 5 months. And this old fella, Billy Smith, had hate tattooed here. And I can't remember what he had tattooed on his throat. The nicest bloke from Woodridge in Brizzy.
Yeah.
The nicest bloke I've ever met.
Yeah.
Happy as. And like, he trained with me when he come in, he started training with me. He was good. I got him a pair of shoes because he didn't have any shoes. Because he wanted to train with us and he was good. He was fit. He was shredded. Just obviously ex-junkie, but he was happy to be in training with us and good morale, good energy. And it's because the guards would always ask me, because they knew I didn't use and I didn't stand for the drugs inside. Like, I wouldn't go pass around all the needles and the shit that the boys would do. The guards always asked me, like, "Oi, Wallace, old mate, we need a new worker. You choose it and you just organise it." And then on the first job that came available after Billy come in, I was like, "Billy, you want a job?" And he goes, "Yeah, fucking oath." And bro, like, this old fella, for 28 years, he knows some shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Brother, if you give me all your food at lunchtime, I'll cook your lunch every day for this opportunity." Brother, this guy was cutting up fruit every day, putting sauces in a bowl, heating it up and extracting all the juices from the fucking tomatoes, the apples, the pears, bananas, and then doing this hectic ham, noodles, migraine. Like, bro, he'd end up cooking for all workers, all 8 of us workers. We'd just let him do the work.
Wow.
We'd go and do all the lunch duties. We'd just say, "Billy, you just stay in the kitchen, brother, you just cook our meals," and then he'd come out with 8 big plates of just like noodles, ham, extracted juices from all the fruits and shit.
Yeah.
But like 28 years, bro, I'm one of the nicest blokes I've ever met. But also jail's very sad because I met so many young guys under 25 that love jail.
Yeah.
Because they had no family, no life outside. And I remember I met this kid who's 22 from Woodridge as well. I met so many boys from Woodridge, it's crazy. And he was like, "Yeah, bar, fucking jail and this, jail and that." I'm like, "Bro, life outside of jail is better."
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a way of life.
No.
And he goes, what do you mean, bro? Like, this is mad. I got my brothers, I got my drugs, got TV, got my meals, I've got a roof over my head, got a bed. I'm like, what about your family, bro? He goes, no, I haven't seen my fucking family in 10 years. And I'm like, and he was getting done because he had a gun. And this lady was mouthing off to him, this kid's mum who stole his bike. And he goes, oh, shut up, you bitch. And the gun shot and shot her in the head. But she didn't die, so she's getting done for manslaughter, attempted manslaughter or some shit. We're looking at 10 years. And if she dies eventually, because the doctors have said she can die eventually, and if she eventually dies, it's fucking murder. And I was like, bro, like, this isn't a good way. Like, these walls, there's so much more to life, bro. Like, you don't need to restrict yourself to this.
Yeah.
But these boys just know no better. They don't have family. They don't have relationships. They don't have anything except their brothers that they meet inside, which then take them out to the streets and just have them doing criminal, selling drugs, doing breaking enters. Like, I was in with one guy who'd done heaps of time, who actually robbed the police commissioner's house.
Oh, fuck.
You know what this cunt said to me? But the first thing what I'm doing when I get out is I'm going straight back and do it again. I got the best guns. I was like, are you fucking listening to what you're saying to me, bro? You're in here because you did that. One, you think he's still living there. And two, like, do you want to be back in here, bro? He's like, I can't even tell you the type of guns I got here, but they were mad. I'm like at the end, like, it consumed me at the start because I felt really sorry for a lot of these guys. But my mate, the combo, he was like, bro, you can't these boys can't be helped.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give them this energy because, like, it will consume me. And in the end, I just become relentless. Like, yeah, if they start to whinge, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Shut up.
Yeah.
You put yourself here. Like, I don't want to be here any more than you, and I don't want to hear your bullshit. Because you've been here a lot longer than I do. I have no intent on putting myself back in here. You do. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
All right, go sit in your cell and whinge, or go whinge to someone else. I don't want a bar of it.
Yeah. Yeah. What, I mean, how long were you in there for?
Only 3 months.
3 months.
So, like, I thank God every day, bro, that I did that. Because if I didn't, I would be in a much worse position than what I was now.
Yeah. And what's life like outside? How has life been for you?
But coming out, it was so anxious. Like, only, 11, 12 weeks inside, but, like, I don't know why, but the anxiety coming out was crazy. Yeah. And it actually crippled me for like 2 weeks before I decided to get a job. But coming out, it was in jail. I was like journaling, like, what I can do as a job. Because I was like, I still have a family to provide for. I still got a missus, still got a kid, had $1,400 a week rent at the time. And I was like, man, I need to make money. Like, I didn't come out to $2,000. And I was like, it's not going to get me far. And I was journaling OnlyFans. I was journaling fucking, excavator driver, plumbing again. And I went and did roofing with a mate who rang me one day. He goes, oh, you out? I said, yeah, I need a job. He goes, yeah, bro, I need a labourer to come work with me. I was like, sweet, perfect. That'll get me out off the couch and get me back into rhythm. And I hate roofing. So I ended up going back into plumbing, going into civil, and that was fucking horrible. Like, in the sun all day on a shovel. It was just shit. I got managed to get into EBA, and that was even worse. Yeah. EBA is good money, but it's the most toxic environment I've ever been into.
Yeah.
Like, it was a better feeling walking off those job sites than what it was leaving jail. Like, I mean, it made me so fucking, and at the time, I didn't even know what I was doing. Like, I just knew I wanted to be off those job sites, and I had to be out of it. And I gave myself a time over the Christmas period last year. I told myself I'll give myself till March to be off, done. Walked in on my first day on the 6th of January. And I said, bro, you got me to the end of the month, and then I'm done. He goes, yep, sweet, perfect. It gives me enough time to find someone. Walked in on the Wednesday, and I said, Friday's my last day, bro. I fucking can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm just mentally switched off. I'm costing you more money. I'm not actually investing any care into my work. Like, I'm just upstairs just dawdling. I'm just costing you guys money now, bro. I feel bad, and I just hate it.
Yeah.
I was just mentally done with it. So, yeah, just quit. And then a few days after that, I just decided I'd always loved helping people through sobriety. Like, I always try to hit it off on social media with my sobriety story. And, a lot of people gravitated towards me. I helped a lot of people and gave them a lot of advice. And, I always loved and felt good helping people with that.
Yeah.
So, and I just thought, fuck it, I've always had a coach myself. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to coach. I've got the qualifications. I know how to do it. Like, what's stopping me? Like, I love helping people.
Yeah.
So why not? And at the time, bro, like, I'm very blessed that I had a wife that supported me financially because I didn't have savings. You know, all my money that I had left went to my lawyer.
Yeah.
And yeah, my missus just goes, look, I'll support you for as long as you need.
That's a fucking good woman, man.
Yeah. She goes, I'll pay you whatever you're getting paid at the moment. I'll cover it. And you just tell me when you're ready to, you know, when you think that you're comfortable enough to go out on your own.
Yeah.
And yeah, within 3 months, bro, I grew my business to where I could pay myself comfortably as well as cover all my overheads. And yeah, bro, I've been 8 months now, and I've done what 8 months that some people can't even do in 5 years.
Yeah. You've completely just transformed your life, man. And you're also a man of faith. And, you know, what role did that play in your transformation?
So the godfather of my daughter the police have evidence of him pretty much informing on me, saying that I was selling narcotics out of our clinic. We had a massive TRT clinic, and he was my business partner, but he half dobbed me in to save the clinic. And so I was actually filled with so much anger and hate and just fury towards this bloke, where it was just consuming my life. Like, I'd be at work plumbing and just crying because I was like, how the fuck can someone do this to someone? So I actually went to see a counselor, and he goes, he's an ex-addict himself, and he's a pastor, owns rehabs, and he goes, brother, like, I just sense that you're ready for something. Like, you, because I grew up religious, and but I gave it up when I was 13, and yeah, he goes, man, I just sense that you're seeking something. Like, do you want to come to church with me? And at first I was like, no way, bro, I've got a fucking ankle monitor on, I've got tattoos, I can't go to church. He goes, yeah, sweet, all good, just thought I'd offer it. And then I had a chat to my mum, and mum was like, you know, what do you got to lose? You know, what, like, it can't have any negative effect on your life. Why don't you just go, give it a go? Because my mum's still very religious. And yeah, bro, I went, and I just felt the presence of God through my life, through my body. And I was like, fuck, this is crazy. Like, I can't not. Like, this is me now. Like, I just knew from that moment that this is my life. And bro, since then, the impact that it's had on my life, and how I now walk through life with so much peace, and knowing that everything that I'm going through is his journey for me, and I have to overcome it. Like, still looking at plenty of jail time, but so excited to go in and touch as many boys' lives through Christ and through him, and just try and have a positive impact on so many boys' lives, and just try and show them that there's more to life, you know, than these four walls, especially through Christ. So a lot of people look at me when I say that, and they're like, fuck, bro, you're fucking off your head, excited to go back to jail. But if you don't learn and grow and make it positive, you know, turn a negative into a positive, what jail will just consume you, you know. And I refuse, bro. I always told myself from the moment I went in, like, I will never, like, let myself fall into the victim mentality in jail. Like, that, to me, that's failing my daughter. And like, I live by the saying that if I fail whatever I'm doing, I fail her. And like, there's no fucking way in the world, bro, that's going to fail my daughter. So like, for me, that's my fuel, bro, with everything that I do. Like, you know, my family and my daughter, my wife, I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
Yeah. And you're a father, yeah. And, you know, that's obviously been something in the back of your mind. You know, you were mentioning as well in jail, you know, to provide, and it's difficult as fuck when you're in there. But, you know, being a father, how has fatherhood changed your outlook on your manhood and your leadership?
So for me, like, I always thought, like, being a man and a good father was just being a good financial provider, making sure everyone was good. And, you know, I go to work, because at the time when I met my wife and we had our first daughter, I was doing what I was doing, had more money than sense. So I was like, look, babe, you just stay at home. I'll work. You don't need to do nothing. And like, she always was a working girl, was a stripper, as well as had a full-time job. When we got together, I try to give her the flexibility of, if you want to stay in the industry, you can, because I just told myself, I always try to control girls growing up. Like, you know, especially I dated a lot of strippers and waitresses, and I said, as soon as I got with them, I said, nah, you're done with that industry. Like, I'll just support your life. You sit at home. But when I met this one, I just told myself, I said, I don't want to be that with her. Like, I want to give her the choice and give her the flexibility and the freedom. And if she wants to pursue that career still, I'll support it. And after 3 weeks, he sort of said, hey, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, I'm with you. And I said, fuck, left some music to my ears, because deep down I didn't want her to do it. But I also didn't want to be that guy that told her that she couldn't do it. And then when we had our child, man, like, it was just, like, I was good sober for a few, like 8-9 months when I had my daughter. and in the gym lost already 10, 15 kilos. And so I thought I was good. But having my daughter, bro, like it just flicked that switch in my mind straight away that, you know, my life doesn't revolve around me anymore and my wife. You know, I have life that relies on me, life that is looking up to me, life that relies on me. And like having that, bro, behind it, for a lot of it's sad because a lot of men don't have that fucking feeling behind them. But for me, bro, like it's my desires don't really matter anymore. It's all about this girl, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and this little fucking human, I'm fucking getting emotional talking.
Yeah, no, me too, bro. Making me
like
emotional for all right.
this human, bro, like this, my life is her, and what she needs and wants is what I'm going to give her.
Yeah.
And that, bro, I've never been this fucking emotional in ages.
Nah, you're all right, bro.
Like, and how I now walk through life, bro, like, and just making sure that I'm so in tune with my emotions so that she knows what a good man is.
Yeah.
And she seeks that in when she gets to an age where she wants to find a partner, and what I am and how I am as a man, that's what she fucking wants.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always been my biggest drive in life when it comes to being a man, that when I get older and I shake my daughter's partner's hand, that I'm almost looking at myself, and she seeks a man that's exactly like me. And at the end of the day, bro, like that's, as a man, I feel like that should be always your biggest drive in life as a father of a little girl.
Yeah.
You know, and even as boys, bro, like I can't really speak too much on having a boy because I don't have a boy. As much as I always have a strong opinion on everything, like I can't sit here and say it all the time because I don't have a boy. I've heard that boys are crazy. I've heard boys are completely different to girls. But like even that, having a boy, you should want your man, your son to be exactly like you. You know, and if you're a gronk, if you don't take care of yourself, if you're fat, overweight, alcoholic, drink all the time, that your son's just you're just passing that lifestyle onto your son because that's what they consider normal.
Yeah.
You know, so that's always been because my biggest drive, bro, the fatherhood. I would not be here, bro. If I went through what I did with jail, even though my wife is such a powerful woman and I fucking love my wife to death, I don't think that I would have been strong enough to overcome jail, come out, turn my life around, and still be where I am today without my daughter. Like, as much as I love my wife and she's had the biggest impact on my life, like, my daughter is what does it for me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I would not be where I am today with this type of mindset without her. So, yeah, I as much as I don't believe that you should have kids to turn your life around, because a lot of men don't.
Yeah.
Even mothers don't, you know, understand the importance of raising kids and don't change their lives for their kids, which is sad. But, you know, a good man will turn his life around for their kids.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think too, it gives you purpose, it gives you meaning, and as you said, it becomes less about you and more about them. What advice would you give to a man who feels stuck? That maybe they're in a destructive cycle, whether it's crime, addiction, or self-hate, and they don't believe that they can change.
Everyone can change.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the fucking epitome of change, bro. I was a fucking addict. I was overweight. I was insecure, hated myself, fueled my life with drugs, alcohol, women. Like, I've been with more women than some people have had hot dinners, bro.
Yeah.
And I look back now and I'm like, you were a pig. Like, you know, and like, I've cheated on more women than some people have had hot dinners, bro. And it fucking kills me that, especially having a daughter now, fuck, bro, God forbid anyone treats my daughter like that. And I look now at how I was with women, and I'm just like, fuck, that's someone's daughter. You know, that's someone's sister. You know, that's a mother's daughter. And like, it fucking breaks my heart, bro, that I did what I did to so many good women. Because like I said, God forbid anyone ever disrespects my daughter. And I just, you know, that's my biggest drive now, that if I can show her what a good man is, she'll never seek someone like the old version of me. You know, so my biggest piece of advice is, you know, you can change. You just have to fucking want it.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. It's fucking hard. And there's going to be days where you feel like giving up. But I'm telling you now, when you push through those barriers of life, you fucking feel way more accomplished than giving up and thinking, you know, oh, fuck. Like, the saying that I live by is, the pain of, as men, we live with two pains, the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. And the pain of discipline outweighs the pain of regret outweighs the pain of discipline by fucking mile.
100%.
You know, you would know, but being with jiu-jitsu and martial arts, like, you know, that the discipline that comes from your life, bro, is I have the absolute utmost respect for anyone that's very successful in that sort of lifestyle. And I understand the fucking, like, just how like crazy that sort of stuff is, bro. So that's what I told a lot of boys, bro. Like, you just have to want it.
Yeah.
You know, and anyone can do it, bro. Like, I'm not even like the epitome of that. Like, there's so many boys out there that have had way more worse lives than me and fucking turned their lives around, bro. Like I'll make that, not, but like Marcy, 10 plus years in jail. I know boys down at Wells, like Pavid and all those boys, they were all in jail with Marcy for 12 years. Come out, now they're fucking running multi-million-dollar crane companies. You know, it's just all of them. It's just a matter of wanting better for yourself and working towards it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like nothing in life comes easy.
No.
Nothing good in life comes easy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my biggest piece of advice to a lot of these boys, bro. Like, and it's a bit cliche, and I wish I had a magic formula and magic pill that I could just give a lot of these boys and just say, here, take this, and you'll automatically fucking, you know, be in a much better position. But it's hard. It's not easy, and there's going to be times that you want to give up, but I can guarantee you right now that you'll feel 100 times better knowing that you did the shit you didn't want to do when you didn't want to do it, as opposed to giving up and living in regret.
Yeah.
You know?
Trai, what's your definition on what it means to be a man? And by that, I mean, what is the role of a man in society right now?
This is a big topic.
It's a big topic.
For me, bro, like, you know, so I'm going to like give like my relationship with my wife and me as a man.
Yeah.
So like for us, she balances me out, you know, like I said, she financially supported me, bro. And a lot of people have this mindset of like, oh, you should be the financial leader. Your wife shouldn't have to work. You know, you should be the provider. Bro, no fucking way, bro. Like, if you can have a wife that's that powerful that she earns great money, and like, my wife's earning great money, bro. She just had a fucking cafe. But she just had to work 5-6 days a week to cover my wage as opposed to paying the other girls' wages. Like, having a wife that backs you 100%, no matter what the fuck you're going through, that will take a man way further in line
100%
than any woman that just sits at home looking after kids. And like, there's nothing wrong. And I was always a big advocate for the trad wife, sitting at home raising kids, and I still am.
Yeah.
But you have to have a woman that wants that, for one, and two, you also have to make a woman feel that she wants that. Like, you can't just, like, what I'm seeing now is Andrew Tate, all these guys, and I get it, they're in a position where they can say this shit to an extent. Like, I still don't agree with it, but they are who they are, and they're in a position where they can say whatever the fuck they want. But like, you have to make a woman feel a certain way. You know, a lot of these boys come to me, oh, brother, my fucking wife doesn't cook, my wife doesn't do this. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing? Tell me your lifestyle. Tell me your habits. And they're like, oh, well, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, so do you look after yourself? Do you go to the gym? So why the fuck should your missus bend down to you when you don't even look after yourself?
I agree.
You know? And it's a fucking level of respect. Like, if you don't respect yourself, how the fuck is any woman, and how do you expect any woman to then respect you and want to bow down to you or what you think she should be doing for you? You know, for me, bro, like me and my wife, we just lift each other up. Like, to this day, I was having a chat with a good mate the other day. We've had 2 arguments, and the arguments is like, it's just me not taking her sickness more serious enough. Like, the other day she was coughing and I just didn't think much of it. I just said, I'll go get my daughter from school. I'll let you lay in bed. And because I didn't ask my wife, you know, if anything was wrong, and she's like, hey, yeah, she got a little bit upset that I was a little bit uncaring. That's like the severity of our arguments. Like, we've never had a full-on severe argument. And people look at me, they're like, are you fucking serious? And I'm like, bro, like, when you're just that in tune with yourself and you can communicate, like, communication is the way of life. Like, if you can't sit with your partner who you're meant to love and say, excuse me, babe, I'm not happy with this. This is upsetting me, or just communicate anything that's not positive in your life, and you guys can't sit and have a healthy conversation, you'll never succeed as a couple. You know, and if you can't have those hard chats with your loved ones, I'd strongly reconsider your communication styles, and probably try to improve the way you guys communicate. Because like, so many problems in people's lives can be solved by sitting down like this and saying, hey babe, what you did the other day I didn't like. hey, babe, the amount that you're drinking on the weekends, I'm not really liking it. Instead of, people just build it up and then all of a sudden there's fucking 20 things and they're fucking, then, then people get violent, turns aggressive and everyone's the worst cut in the world.
Yeah.
Communication can save so many fucking problems. And like for me, bro, that was one thing that I was always I'd rather just not talk about it. I'll sit on the couch and fucking just pretend it never happened and I'll go silent. And my wife, because she studied psychology or studying, she would just come and turn the TV off and sit next to me and say, all right, cunt, what's the go? Talk to me, because you clearly something's wrong. And it just forced me to talk about it. And instantly, I'm fine. Yeah. I'm better, happy again. Because we just talked about it. And like, it wasn't even that fucking severe. But like, as a man, bro, we have this stigma of, like, well, we don't fucking talk about, we don't talk about our feelings. Like, old mate, on that fucking podcast the other day, men should just, if they have a hard day and a shit day, they just get on with it. No, cunt. You should not just get on with it, because that's how fucking boys are raised, being absolute, like, it's such a generational curse. It's passed down through generations of men that deal with their emotions. Men shouldn't have emotions, because that is the most toxic mindset around emotions that anyone can pass down to their kids. Because boys and people that don't communicate and deal with their problems, they become very violent and scary people. So for me, bro, it's like, as a man, deal with your shit, communicate with your partner, be a provider to an extent, but also lift each other up. You guys can be so fucking powerful together, and that's what I said. Like, me and my wife, bro, like, I have never met a woman like her. She is a hardworking lady, but she also is that nurturing, cooks all my food when I ask, does the washing, and like, I'm very, what's the word when you're very domesticated? I do the washing, I do the cleaning, I do the floors, dishes. Like, I'm very domesticated myself. But like, we just understand each other's roles.
You complement one another.
And like, where we lack, like, I know she doesn't want to change the kitty litter, so I just do it. And same deal with her. She knows I don't like folding the washing, so she just does it. And we just pick up where the other one lacks. And that's all comes down to communication.
It's amazing, man. I really think a woman can accelerate a man to a different level.
Brother, I'm telling you right now, like, I would not be where I am without my wife. If I just had some chick that just wanted to sit at home and leech off me and, say, yeah, babe, you just go to work. It doesn't make you want to be successful.
Nah.
Like, it fucking drains the life out of you, babe, most of the time. Because if you're not successful and you have a woman that's not pushing you to want to be successful, you're not going to become successful. Because you don't have that drive, you don't have that desire. Just because your missus just wants to sit at home, it doesn't fuel anything inside you to think, you know what, I'm going to provide for this girl. Instead, a lot of guys are like, well, why the fuck will I provide for her? She doesn't even cook my meals and shit. That's the mentality that men have.
I mean, look at this way, man. Look at everything around you that's been built. Everything around that we see right now has been built because of, obviously, the structure of society and civilization. But at the same time, we do it for our opposite sex. We do it for women, bro. Like, inventions to fucking skyscrapers, everything we do for a family, and we do it for women. And I really do think, man, women have this superpower that I think if they can tap into that, man, you watch that man build an empire. I seriously believe that.
You look at guys like Andy Elliott and all these high-powered men, bro, that speak, like Alex Hormozy. The power that they have, and they have no one to think but their wives. Bro. Because these wives just, and it's not even like they say, hey, babe, I want you to be successful. They just add so much value to your life, and that just ignites this fuel inside you that, like, I'm going to fucking do something. That just makes you want to be successful. It's not like, like I said before, it's not like, I have to be successful because my wife just wants to sit at home. It's like, nah, motherfucker, I want to be successful, and I'm going to be successful because this woman is giving me this fucking ignition inside of me to want to do that.
It's like a rocket ship, man. Like, I think women can just give you so much, a sense of, in that fire that you were talking about, you can just fucking, I mean, seriously, man, like, I think that's what a lot of men want in a relationship. They want a woman that's going to be with them through the downs. They want to know when shit hits the fan, are they going to leave them? And that's the worry too, man. Like, and we were talking, you were just saying about vulnerability and communication. And I've talking about this on numerous podcasts as well. One of the biggest fears a man has, in a relationship is whether or not their partner is going to be able to handle their vulnerability.
Mm.
And even to the point where you might shed a tear.
Mm.
Are they going to use that against you in a future argument? To me, man, I think it comes with emotional maturity and selecting wisely too. But seriously, man, like it's commendable what your wife has done, bro.
Mm.
Like to be with you through the downs, to get to a place where she's pushed you to propel you in a different direction, where you're achieving remarkable things. Like that's a remarkable woman, bro.
Well, we never wanted to get married. We never, but once I watched her give birth to my daughter, I was like, I have to marry her. But even then, we were engaged, had no real desire to get married. But how she handled jail, I was just like, there's absolutely no way I'm not marrying this woman.
Yeah.
Like every week at visits, every week money in my account, every week my daughter was fed, every week our rent was paid. All because she just knew she had a job to do.
Mm.
She didn't sit around saying, "Oh fuck this." Like, right, honestly, most guys in jail, all you hear all day, "You fucking bitch, fuck you," or they're getting grilled by their missus because their missus had their phone outside. They can see them being cheating on them or some shit. And every day, bro, I watch guys crush up Coke cans and into like, you know, sharp piece of metal and they're trying to cut themselves because their missus is outside giving them a hard time. And like me and you remember Carlos, little PT from Welch?
Oh yeah.
He was in with me.
Yeah, really.
Me and him would just sit there and just think, thank fuck we have good girls, bro. Because like jail's shit.
Mm.
But like and like my missus said the same thing to me. She goes, I can't be shit out here when you're so good in there.
Mm.
She goes, what reason do I have to be sad when you're in the worst position of your life and you're still so fucking happy and making an impact and training every day, showing up for yourself and everyone around you?
Mm.
How can I be shit out here and be she tried to say it's selfish if she felt shit. And I'm just like, what? Who are you? Like, no one has this mentality.
Yeah.
You know? So I was just like, yeah, how she's handled. And like, it's not just little bads. Like, jail is fucked. You know, to not have me there to financially provide, protect, you know, help with the bub. Like, she still fucking worked every day, as well as drop bub at school, pick her up, cook dinners, trained every day for herself. And I was just like, bro, there's absolutely no way I can't marry this woman.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way.
No, she seems like a remarkable woman, man. And I talk to a lot of dudes, and that's what they really want in life, is they want a woman that's just going to be supportive. And even too, man, like I'm not saying life is harder for men or women. We both have our own challenges, man, but we're seeing a bit of a paradigm in the way men are treated in society. And this is another reason too, man. We're seeing an alarming rate of suicides in men. Men are, I think, 3 to 4 times more likely to take their own life. Why do you think so many men are struggling or suffering in silence? And what can we do as a society, man?
So it all comes down to communication.
Yeah.
Like men have struggles, bro. You know, with this day and age, like you guys like Andrew Tate, all these high-powered men that say you need to be earning this amount of money, you need to provide for your wife and family. When like they're just putting so much stress on men, bro. You know, and like unfortunately, there is a lot of women out there that don't add a lot of value to their partner's lives and expect so much that don't. Like I said, they're not forcing their men to want to be better. They're just telling them, hey, we need to make this much money. I want to stay at home.
Yeah.
So like men have all these constant problems in their lives, bro. And like life's stressful.
Yeah.
You know, and I truly believe that I would say up to 90% of humans don't enjoy their jobs.
Yeah.
And it's sad, bro. And a huge percentage in Australia, people are overweight.
Mm.
You know, so they hate themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so there's this, and like that stigma that we were talking about earlier where men don't communicate, and that's why a lot of men feel like that. Like, a lot of men these days, they come to me like, bro, I don't have anyone I can talk to. I can't go to my mates because they're not going to fucking take me seriously, and they're not going to help. They're not going to listen. They're just going to fucking make me feel like an idiot. And it just breaks my heart, bro. Like now, ever since going to faith heavily, like, bro, I will ring my best mate and cry to him on the phone. When like there was a time where I dealt with 3 deaths in 3 days, and it fucking rocked me for like 4 weeks. I just couldn't shake this constant down feeling. I've never been anxious, depressed, but like, fuck, bro, I was in a bad headspace for like 4 or 5 weeks. And I just ring my best mate who I train with, and I'm like, bro, I'm just going to give you the heads up. Like, I feel like an absolute bag of dicks, and I'm not good. So like, I'm just giving you a heads up because I'm going to be at the gym, so I'm probably going to be quiet. Don't take it personally. Like, and then we get to gym, bro, and all the men, we just start talking and we just discuss our fucking feelings. And like, even yesterday, bro, I went to a coffee shop with, you know, Shami,
Yeah.
His little brother,
Yeah.
Jaden. I grew up with Jaden.
Yeah.
And he's now converted to God as well, given up social media, given up all the bullshit.
Has he really?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, right.
And when he told me that a few weeks ago, like I could not believe it, bro, because he goes, bro, I lost 100% of my income because it didn't align with God.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're fucking kidding me, bro. No one would do that.
Yeah.
You know, doing online gambling, social media, like all the bullshit that comes with it. He goes, bro, it didn't align. I felt like a fraud. He goes, so 3 weeks ago, I deleted social media.
Oh, wow.
And I sat with him and my best mate, bro. We sat at Adonis up the road and we had a 2-hour conversation about the impacts of how God has had on our life. And we just put all of our emotions and like, we were all sitting there crying with fucking goosebumps. Like, and like that's a powerful group of boys, you know, boys that can fucking communicate. And I tell this so heavily on my social media that if you don't have mates in your life that you can go to and talk about your problems, they're not your mates.
Yeah.
And you need to seriously evaluate who the fuck you have in your life. And I say it massively as well. Like, if you are one of those boys that your mate can't come to, you need to have a fucking hard think of who you are as a human.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking sad, bro. And like, for me personally, I'll sit there and call any man a piece of shit that doesn't allow their mates to come to them with their problems.
Yeah.
Because this is what happens, bro. Fucking suicide. And like you said, 3 to 4 men are more likely to fucking kill themselves than discuss their problems. That's a fucking shit statistic, bro.
Oh, man.
Very sad.
Yeah. I was reading an alarming statistic too, Trai. I think it was 2022. I think over 3,000 Australian men took their own lives. And a lot of the times too, man, is I think another stat I read, I think 90% of them actually went to seek help. They actually went to seek help. And still it didn't fucking work.
Yeah, that's a tough one because like there's you know, there's sort of being able to listen, but like it's sort of also, can you add any value to that man's life? Can you actually assist with their problems?
Yeah.
And like, you know, if you can't, find a way that you can. You know, if your mate comes to you with problems and you say, fuck, brother, I don't think I can help you, but let's come up with a fucking plan as to who can or how we can help you.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many free what's the word, like facilities out there that men can go to or anyone that can go to for help. You know, it's just a matter of doing a bit of research. You know, so you know, I get problems come to me all the time, bro, and I'm like, bro, man, I actually don't know how to help you. Like, I personally can't give you my opinion on this because 1, I've never experienced it, and 2, I don't know what the fuck that feels like. But this guy does.
Yeah.
And I'll put them in touch. You know, then all of a sudden it's all right.
Yeah.
You know, or I ring my counselor, who I'm now very close with. I look to him as like a mentor, and I'll say, brother, how can I help this bloke? And you know, now I'm just taking boys down to church, fucking left, right, center. Like, I'm taking 5, 10 boys down every Sunday, meet me down there because you know, I know what God can do in lives, and you know, there's a lot of these boys are lost. They don't know where to go, how to help themselves, and then all of a sudden, you know, they come to church and they just understand and feel the presence, and they're just like, fuck. This is wild.
Yeah.
So, you know, God forgives and everyone's a sinner. And, you know, so as everyone knows, bro, what you can do through God is very fucking powerful.
Yeah. I heard this too, man. Women tend to bond face to face. Men tend to bond shoulder to shoulder. And I think one of the biggest reasons too is how we can fix men's mental health is having a structure, having a support system, but asking the right questions. But men generally want to have a problem. They want to fix it. And that might even be, hey, bro, like, you're in a bit of a bad place, but come with me to the gym. We're going to go to the gym tomorrow and we're going to fucking lift weights. We're going to eat this. And then after that, bro, we're going to fucking go fishing or hunting or whatever the fuck. And I think too, man, like, men also, they need a brotherhood. You need that, bro. And I was talking with Gavin Hayne on the podcast. So Gavin's also a martial artist as well. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt too. And I was talking to him, man, like, the beauty about joining a fight gym is you have that sense of camaraderie. Everyone's going through the same shit, but there's this unusual, I guess, energy that happens in a fight gym where you're struggling to learn. And like, I look at it like wrestling, right? When you were wrestling with a high level black belt, like, I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt. Like, if I'm wrestling another black belt, I got my fucking work cut out for me. You know what I mean? It's hard work, but you slap and bump, you have a bit of a wrestle. And once the wrestle's over, you just have that like aura. You think, fuck, you know, like, And people need that, bro. Like whether it's going to the gym or doing hard shit, but especially men too, bro. Like, what do you think men need to do to ask the right questions if their mate's struggling? Like, what are the questions that they need to ask?
So I remember did this mates in construction course, and like how they structured it, I personally think it was a load of shit, like how they deal with, and you become, I can't remember what the word was, that you become like someone that people on the sort of job sites can come to. And like for me, like they were very like punctual. Like if you go up to someone and say, "Hey mate, are you thinking about killing yourself?" Like very direct, very punctual, like very almost like a stiff. Like it's like talking to someone that's a brain surgeon. And I said to him, I said, "Man, if someone come to me and I was depressed and someone said that to me on a job site, tell them to get fucked."
Yeah.
Like, but I'd rather someone come up to me and be like, "Hey brother, are you fucking gonna kill yourself?" That level of like, being on each other's level, as opposed to making someone feel like an idiot that's on a job site. Those boys aren't punctual.
Yeah.
Those boys don't have a lot of brain cells. A lot of them are fucking alcoholics and drug addicts.
Mm.
So if you go to them and say, "Hey mate, are you thinking about killing yourself?" They're going to be like, "Get the fuck away from me, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck you on about?" If you go, "Brother, you fucking feeling all right?" Or, you can talk to me.
Mm.
But like for me, like, it's just asking like, "Bro, are you good?"
Yeah.
I'm not, so a lot of my mates come to me with relationship problems at the moment. But a lot of men, as you would know, they can't communicate. They get very heated, and their women don't want to hear them communicate. Like you said before, like some women don't allow their men to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it becomes very toxic. And like my best mate said to me the other day, he goes, "Bro, fuck, I just can't communicate with my missus, bro. Like, fuck, it does my head in. I just go silent and I don't want to speak to her." And I'm like, "Why don't you write a letter? Like put everything on, text her and say, 'Babe, we can't communicate right now, but we need to because we need to make this work.'" And I said to her, I said, "Bro, put everything on a piece of paper, handwrite it so it's special, not just typed on a fucking computer. Handwrite everything that's going on in your head right now. Tell her how you're feeling and what you want her to know about what you're feeling so she can read it and understand. And, don't let her read it in front of you. Give it to her and go for a walk so she can sit there in her own energy and understand everything that you're going through."
That's a good idea.
Because like, like I said, like so many people jump, "Oh no, like, you don't fucking feel like that. Oh, you might feel like that. Well, I feel like this." And it just becomes so toxic and heated. You just need to find ways that you can communicate. That letter thing for me, bro, like when I first established that was huge for me. It was like, as I said before, like I couldn't communicate. I just shut off, rather not deal with it, and as most men would. But like being able to support boys like that, like, bro, save your relationship because you guys do love each other. You guys want to be together, but you just can't communicate.
Yeah.
So like find another solution.
Yeah.
Next day I'm like, "Bro, how'd you go?" He goes, "Bro, fuck. Thank God you told me to do that, bro." He goes, and she now fucking fully understands because like, he'd tell her something and she'd be like, "Well, no, it's not that, it's this." And he's like, "Well, hang on. I'm telling you what's wrong with me. Can you please not tell me what's wrong? Like, I'm telling you how I feel." And she'd be like, "No, I think it's this." And he'd be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to tell you what's wrong." So then like he just shut off and be like, "Nah, that's it. You know what? I'm fucking done. I'm not talking."
Yeah.
And it's toxic.
Yeah.
And that's what creates tension within relationships, bro. But like I said, communication can save so many problems, but you just need to find a way to go communicate.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man, is actually writing it down, and I think a lot of men want their partner to realize the burdens that they're carrying. They want them to understand what they're going through, their struggles. And a good example of this, man, is we don't know what it's like to be a woman, vice versa. Women don't know what it's like to be a man. There was a famous story about a radical feminist called Nora Vincent. She wrote a best-selling book and she documented her experience. She disguised herself as a man for 18 months. And what she came to learn about the male experience is how differently she was treated as a man as opposed to a woman. And there's a lot of things going on in society right now. Women have it hard, men have it hard, and no one's waving the victimhood points. We just need to see the challenges men are facing in the world, and we need to see the challenges women are facing in the world. But she couldn't believe how she was treated as a man. And some men, look at it this way, bro. The only time a man will receive flowers is at his funeral. Men are fucking starving of appreciation, bro. They really are. And I think this is the conundrum too, man, like where we're getting in the whole relationship space is a lot of men don't know how to communicate that. And vice versa, I think women also need to learn how that they can better listen. And same thing, men need to fucking listen too. But I think this is the hard thing as well, bro, is how can men expressively and openly articulate themselves without being seen as weak? And I don't think it's fucking weak to speak.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be weak.
It shouldn't be, man. I think it just comes down to communication. I think that's the hard part.
Well, the thing is, like, I know everyone wants this strong leadership man, role model, male figure, masculine man, but like, we can't be that if we're constantly carrying these fucking burdens inside and can't get them off our chest, bro. Like, you can't expect your man to be this powerful leader, man, successful, driven, when you don't even allow him to speak to you.
Yeah.
You know, and if he doesn't feel comfortable to voice those opinions, his problems with you, he's not going to be that man that you think you want him to be.
Yeah.
You know, women need to understand that, like you said, appreciation, bro. Like for me, when I met my wife, she was very trade, cooked all my meals, like just did everything. And I was just like, holy fuck. Because I grew up watching my stepmom do that for my dad. It was just like, holy fuck. And I've always had a fetish for Asians, bro. And when I met my missus, I was like, fuck, she's got a big ass, she's tatted up, like very, like, very trad, like wanted to just cook, clean, do everything for me. So like, but, you know, it was the appreciation as well. Like, a lot of men come to me with these problems, bro, like, oh, fuck, I do this, this, and this. They're like, my missus doesn't even acknowledge it. And it's like, well, yeah, and like that's the thing about appreciation is such a big desire for men.
Yeah.
You know, they feel that they're doing so much, but they get no appreciation.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard because I know that women deep down, they probably appreciate it, but they don't show it. But I know there's also two sides to every story where, you know, these men think they're doing all this, but, you know, they're also not treating their missus well or doing this in the background that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So like, that's where that, you know, the non-appreciation from the woman comes from.
Yeah.
So there's always two sides to every story. So I always just say, like, brother, like, that's why I always tell the boys, like, bro, write it on a piece of paper, man. Because if you can't communicate and can't voice it, at least she can understand it by reading it. And hopefully that can make her better understand how you're feeling, these burdens that you're carrying without getting toxic and heated and in the moment and start yelling and, you know, aggressive.
Yeah.
It just allows her to be by herself, don't read it together, and then just come back and hopefully you guys can discuss it as a pair.
Yeah, I really like that too, man. I think that's a great idea, as voicing your opinions and your thoughts and what's going on and writing it down. If you can't express it and say it out loud, just write it down.
Like, it takes away that shame that a lot of men hold as well, where it is embarrassed. They feel embarrassed to voice their emotions, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said before, like, it shouldn't be like that, bro. And women shouldn't make men feel like that, because they can't expect their men to be masculine as leader when they don't even allow their men to talk about their problems. You know, so it shouldn't come to this, but it is a very good way to obviously communicate. And then maybe the woman can step back and think, fuck, I haven't actually been listening to or taking in what he's going through, and or they're just like, fuck, I didn't actually know at all, because their partner never spoke about it. And it just allows women to then be like, fuck, okay, yeah, there's clearly we need to fix some things, and fingers crossed, everyone that goes through these sort of problems, and, you know, if they use that piece of paper and writing it down as a solution, that hopefully it does fix any problems, because then people sort of understand. And it just, for me, it was huge, because like I said, I couldn't communicate. You know, now I'm way better communicator than my wife, and she hates it, because she's like, how the fuck can you communicate way better than me now? Where at the start, I would have to come turn the TV off and make you talk to me. Now, if I'm ever upset, I'll just talk to her, and then she won't want to talk to me because she's in the mood. And then I'll go to bed, and she's like, oh, well, you're not talking to me. I'm like, well, I fucking tried to talk to you hours ago. So let's talk about that. Since I want to talk. And she goes, I just hate how you can communicate way better than me. She goes, because it always was roles reversed. I'm like, well, that just comes, for me, it's through God and that inner peace. And being injured and dealing with all my childhood shit and dealing with all the things that I've been through. Now it's just like, I'm more than happy to be emotional. You know, and she allows me to be as well. You know,
and I think too, man, we don't want to put the burden on women, but I think there is a role that women need to play in being able to create a safe space for men. If the roles are that men are protectors and providers, like if I walk down the street with my missus, I mean, we're both heavily into martial arts, but 5 people jumped us, I'm going to jump in front of them, in front of her to protect her. She can take care of herself, obviously, but, you know, I'm going to do my role. I think it's a job for a woman to protect her man emotionally in the home. So if he's going through something where maybe there's been a death in the family or whatever, and he sheds a tear, you need to fucking sit there with him and not use it against him later on in an argument and weaponize it against him, because he's like, I think it's one of the greatest things one of the greatest compliments a man can do is express
Be
themselves
emotional in front of their partner.
and show vulnerability. That's a compliment.
I was going to say, if any woman should be fucking very appreciative that their man feels confident enough to do that.
Yep.
It's very fucking rare that men will communicate at all,
Yeah.
let alone actually go in to then be emotional with their partners, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so like you said, women should really take it as a compliment that men feel comfortable enough to do that with them. And then, unfortunately, a lot of women will weaponize that and use it against them, where it's sad, bro. I just see so many toxic relationships these days, and I just know deep down that they shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
And you know, they just do everything they can to try and make it work, and then eventually they sort of come to realize they shouldn't have pushed on so far.
Because I think too, man, I think being hard all the time will fuck you up.
Bro, it will cripple you as a man, bro. Like if you think that you're going to be this macho masculine man, not deal with your problems, but so this is what my counselor taught me. Like, that as boys, we're raised like that from our fathers. You know, men don't cry, men don't show emotion. So we shoved that little boy back inside, and he's never been dealt with. And as an adult, all he wants to do is come out. But we just keep pushing him down, keep pushing him down. And like I've realized now that, you know, all the shit that we are as kids and everything that we go through as children all comes out in us when we're adults. So like anxiety, depression, all the mental health, all the things that we go through as adults, 99% of the time is all stemmed from our childhood.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so like, and that's where those, like I was saying earlier at the start, where that mentality of men don't deal with their emotions is so fucking toxic.
It is.
And like I tell all my mates, I'm like, bro, devils raise devils. So deal with your fucking problems. Don't pass them on to your kids. You put your kids on this earth. You have a responsibility to then give them the best fucking opportunity and the best life possible. So deal with your fucking problems. Don't pass it on to them to give it to them to take through their life. Yeah. You know, and I see it so often, bro. And I do my best, especially with my close mates, bro, to give them avenues to deal with their problems, church, counseling, put them in places or with people that know how to deal with shit. And because unfortunately, I see it so toxically passed through their kids now. And it fucking breaks my heart because as a parent, bro, your kids are a fucking reflection of you. People that sit here and say, oh, my kids are shit, oh, my kids are that. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing with your life, brother? You know, how's you and your wife? You know, you guys arguing all the time. You disappear into the pub every afternoon, toxic at home, and then you expect your kids to be good? No, brother. It's a reflection of you. Yeah. You are the reason they're shit. Not your kids just not shit. You know, you are the reason they're shit. So it's sad, but it breaks my heart now, especially I was dealing with a lot of my own personal stuff and going on this self-development healing journey. It's sad to see now what people pass down to their kids.
It is, man. It really is. And, you know, I think this is the problem too, especially with a lot of young boys. You know, now we're seeing broken homes, violence is going through the roof. I think if I read it might have been last year or the year before that Australia, I think, has had a 30% spike in crime, something ridiculous. Like we're seeing just, you know, young boys have just lost, man. And that leads me into my next question, bro. Like many men they're feeling disconnected, unmotivated, unsure of their purpose. And I think men need a mentor, bro. They need strong fathers especially. But what do you think is missing in our boys today?
Discipline.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, bro, like, you know, the younger generation is fucked. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. They want to work the bare minimum, get paid the most. Like, I'm very scared for the trade industry because anyone under 25 these days, it's pretty rare to come across an apprentice or a young bloke that actually has drive to work. You know, especially out in the sun, digging holes. Like it's discipline. And like you said, it all stems from weak fathers and broken homes, unfortunately. Like for me, like I said, like as soon as Kai is of age, my daughter, she's going straight into some form of single martial arts where she only has herself to rely on. You know, not a team sport. She wants to go down team sports later on, happy days. But she will develop discipline as a young girl through martial arts, which I think every fucking kid should do. Some sort of sport that you have only yourself to rely on. It doesn't need to be martial arts or fighting, golf, tennis, just something that you only have yourself to rely on. You can't blame anyone else for your mistakes.
Yeah.
Only yourself.
Because, it teaches them ownership, doesn't it? Accountability. Yeah. What do you think social media has done to this generation, especially Gen Z? Do you think it's weakened men? We're seeing a lot of these Gen Z, they're coming very feminized. I've noticed that. And you and I too, man, we were talking about this. Like we had the action stars to look up to, Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, Stallone. We had all these guys to look up to. But what do you think is happening? And do you think social media is to blame for just the fuckery that's happening in the world?
Like I said before, but I think a lot of it stems from from men. We're big fathers. Because your kids are you. Obviously, you can do your best to guide your kid, and you can be a great father, and sometimes they unfortunately still go down the wrong route. But social media does play a huge role of the mentality around boys. Especially like these days, boys are getting away with whatever, all these breaking enters, all the bullshit. They're just going to start and do this and get let out. So like, there's no consequences to any actions these days.
Yeah.
Even in like boys that are doing crime, boys that are doing this. But people are like, what blows my mind, bro, is like, I could do 10 plus years, but there's fucking rapists that do no time because they have a fucking mental problem. Like, that does fucking not make sense to me, bro. Like, I get selling drugs is not the right thing to do, but I'm not fucking raping some little girl, bro, that didn't, infants. Like, it fucking boils my blood, bro. It's disgusting, bro. But yeah, and all this fucking trends and fucking furries and, bro, like, I've got a lot to say about that. I just personally think it just should be absolutely like what Trump's doing, just shoving it all out completely, because it is allowing for a very backwards and twisted society.
It's a sickness, man.
Yeah, it's a mental health. It's a mental
fucking virus. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's a
fully mental problem. They need to go into psych wards. I'm not going to say what I feel like it should be done, because I'll end up fucking cancelled or some shit. But they need severe help.
Yeah, you're right too, man. It starts with the father. Strong fathers, leaders, and I think too, man. There is still this persona that men aren't feeling wanted in the world. All men want to do is feel capable and powerful. Give a man a purpose and the ability to achieve it, and he will crawl over broken glass with a smile. Men just want to feel capable. They want to feel powerful. They want to feel needed. They want to feel appreciated. And a good example of this too, man, and this is what they're talking about. They're trying to push this narrative that being masculine is toxic. Bullshit. A good example, 2012 Aurora, Colorado, The Dark Knight Rises. A gunman entered a cinema and started unloading rounds. 3 of the boyfriends jumped in front of the bullets to protect the girlfriends. All 3 men died. All 3 women survived. If that's the kind of masculinity that you're looking to squash, then we don't fucking live on the same planet.
Yeah, what's masculine, and I get the whole toxic. Like, unfortunately, people like Andrew Tate, they do have that very toxic mentality of, yes, a woman should stay home and look after kids. A woman should do this, should do that. And I get it. They're in a position where they think that they're fucking on top of the world. And honestly, I love Tate. I do love him.
Oh, yeah.
Do I agree with all of the shit he says? Not really. Because I feel like you have to make a woman want to be all these things and make her feel like she wants to be these things. Where were we?
With toxic
masculinity. Yeah, like, bro, like, for me, I feel like every man needs to be in shape. Because I feel like being active, being fit, eating well cures most men's problems.
Yes.
And, a lot of mental health problems, or it doesn't cure it, but takes a lot away from it. Anxiety, depression, if you're eating shit and fucking fueling your body with absolute rubbish, I say to everyone, what do you think your body's going to do? It's going to turn to shit.
Yeah.
And I see it now, like, it's so sad, like the statistics of people that are fat.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Like, and it's so normalized now. Now getting 8,000 steps a day is considered a workout. So hang on, motherfucker. Like, you should be doing 8,000 steps a day anyway.
Yeah.
You fat fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole masculinity thing in young men, like, I'm very scared, having 2 girls of my own. I'm very, very scared for what they're going to have to choose from when it comes, because, once Tate and all those older generation boys die, we're fucked.
What's left?
Yeah, what's left is fucked.
Yeah.
You know, after our generation, I truly believe even some people in our generation are going very backwards. But after us, it's Gen Z. There's almost no such thing as masculinity.
Yeah. And too, man, I think to be a good man, you have to have gone through a bunch of shit.
Adversity builds character.
It does.
I live on that.
Yeah. You need to go through hard things. You need to go through trauma. You need to go through hardship. And I think that's the building blocks to making a man who he is today. And I think too, man, like as you said, getting kids enrolled in something difficult, whether it's martial arts, it builds resilience as well. Like this whole thing of having fucking participation medals and, like doing hard things is what's required. Like that is the foundation of learning how to solve a problem. You need to fucking put yourself in hard situations.
But you need to learn.
Yeah.
You need to learn from the losses.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe a lot of men don't do is, and I spoke about this on my social media recently, is like, as a man, you have to learn and grow from your mistakes.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
You can either, like myself, jail. Yes, I fucked up, but I'm going to go in and make a fucking absolute positive out of the worst situation possible and learn and grow from that and make sure that when I come out, I'm either more educated or made sure I touch as many boys' lives as possible and turn a negative situation to as positive as fuck. As positive as fuck. And a lot of men, they just say, oh, I fucked up. Like I was talking to a guy the other day. Oh, bro, I did this so many years ago and I just can't get past it. Like, I lost all this money. I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do, bro? You want to sit here? It's been 3 years now. What do you want to do? You want to keep feeling sorry for yourself? Or are you going to sit back and say, okay, I'm going to make sure I don't do that again. How did I do it? What did I do to put myself in that situation? And how do I make sure I don't go there again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of sitting there playing the victim of like, oh, I did this, oh, I did that, oh, my mate cheated, oh, my missus cheated on me, my mate fucked me over. It's like, get the fuck over it, bro. Move forward. Like, if you're going to constantly dwell on the past, how are you expected in yourself to move forward and progress in life?
Yeah.
Constantly can live in shit that's happened 2-3 years ago.
That's right.
Move forward, learn from it, grow from it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be constantly stuck where you are in life.
Yeah.
And like, you can't teach people that, unfortunately.
Nah.
They have to go through these things, and unfortunately, they either learn or they don't. And, I'm not going to be there to hold their fucking hand through every life adversity because that also creates weak men. You need to go through this shit on your own, deal with it, grow from it, learn from it. If you need some assistance on the way, fucking ask for it. You don't have to go through shit alone, but you do have to go through adversity. It builds character, builds resilience. And like you said, it's the foundation of what you can, it's a stepping stone to getting you to that next level.
100%.
That's why I tell everyone about life. Every adversity, every situation that you go through, good and bad, it's a stepping stone to where you currently are. Don't live in regret. Look at it as okay, that happened, sweet, grow from it. It's got me to that next step and where I am now.
Yeah.
Everything that you go through is a stepping stone, to where you are.
Yeah.
And you don't need to look at it like that. It's just a stepping stone. It's one of those things. It's not one of those things. You're not stuck there. You don't have to be stuck there. You can move forward with it, bro.
Yeah. 100%, man. There was a viral video too, bro, on TikTok. You called out influencer Tammy Hembrow after she joined Tinder. What made you speak about that situation?
Have you ever been on Tinder?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Probably a long time ago. It was actually used for the right reasons. People actually wanted to connect on there. These days, like my mate was just on it recently, bro. And in 6 months' time, the shit that he sent me, like it made me sick. Like I used to be a deviant back in my day, bro. But what these women were saying to my mate, I was like, what happened to these girls? What went wrong? Like, what are these? Where are their dads?
Yeah, where are the
dads? The most disgusting, vile, sexual things that they wanted done to them. I was like I said, I'm a deviant, bro. But I was like grossed out by this shit. And they wanted to be fucked in front of their friends. They wanted their friend to do this and in front of this person. Oh, they wanted their friends to watch and wanted this man to join and that and threesome orgies. And I was like, it's not just be used to actually find love and build a connection. What is it actually used for? And like what I've seen with men is men split up with their missus, jump straight on Tinder to try and fuck the next best thing they can. And it's filled with insecure, weak men that don't actually want relationships. They're just like, well, any guy I speak to on Tinder, yeah, but I just want to smash as many women as I can. And I was the same, bro, when I was 18, 19. I was just on there to smash, you know? And the fact that a mother of 3 kids with 2 girls, who is one of the biggest female influencers in Australia, millions of young females, for me, I looked at as a father of a girl.
Mm.
Who one day will be on social media and will look up to someone. Yeah, this is what young girls have to look up to that are promoting an app like Tinder. Like, I don't, people knocking me for saying, oh, she deserves love. Fucking oath she does. And I hope she finds it. But don't be promoting an app like Tinder. 10 years ago when we were using it, you were using it, maybe, yeah, people on there for the right reasons. And there is a lot of people that come out and say, man, I found my wife, or I found my husband. We've been married this many years, and happy fucking days. Occasionally that happens. But I can guarantee you that 70 to 80% of people on that app are broken, insecure, especially men, and they're just looking for the next thing to smash.
Yeah.
And like, for me, like, I just could not believe that someone like her with her influence would promote an app that's used so heavily for just not true connection, as a single mum that's had multiple failed relationships,
Yeah.
multiple failed or one failed marriage, and as a father of 2 girls. And I was just like, could not believe that someone would sell their soul to the devil for a financial gain.
Yeah.
Like, and I know how much money she got paid for that high smile, whether it's true or not, but it was like 500 grand. And that was like 10 years ago when that shit come out.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor got 500 grand for
That's
that deal.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, imagine what the fuck she's getting paid for now when she has the influence that she does now.
Yeah.
But it'd be minimum $1 million. All for what?
Yeah.
So you can financially gain, and all these broken men, insecure men are going to be like, and it just, I just could not believe, bro, that she's promoting an app as sick as Tinder.
Yeah.
And like I said, I hope she finds love. Everyone deserves love.
Yeah.
Not saying she's a bad person and doesn't deserve it, but don't fucking promote something like Tinder. Like, you already, let's not beat around the bush. You're doing pretty well. You're driving around in a Rolls Royce. You know, you don't need $1 million for Tinder. I'm sure you can get $1 million somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So as a father, bro, I don't know why, but it's just, there's some things, bro, that just ignite this fire in me, and I just can't fucking not.
I think too, man, because you are a father, you kind of put yourself in your shoes. Like, imagine if that was my daughter that did that. You know, you put yourself in those shoes. You wouldn't want that for your daughter. And I think also too, man, men need obviously male role models to look up to, but so do women, man. Women need good role models. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and I'm not putting shit on women, man. I think men are to blame. And the reason why I put the onus on men is because men are subscribing to it. Men are on OnlyFans. The amount of men that are on subscribing to it, and obviously women know this, they'll over-sexualize themselves on Instagram and get hundreds and hundreds of likes. The onus is on men, bro, because if you fucking stop giving these women validation, stop paying them money, all this shit would fucking go away.
It would stop. Oh, yeah, but man, don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of close friends on OnlyFans that are millionaires. Yeah. Millionaires, brother. But I congratulate them, because I say good on you for fucking capitalizing on fucking weak men. Yeah. Because, bro, I wish I could bring up my phone, because I wouldn't be able to find it very quickly. But a mate of mine who's a coach put up a statistic of how many Australian men are subscribed to OnlyFans, and the amount of money that's spent in 1 year. Like $6-7 million.
Crazy, bro.
I was just like, you're fucking kidding me. And don't get me wrong, bro, back in my cooking days, I would be subscribing to girls cooked as. All of a sudden I spent $1,000 in one night. I'm like, oh fuck, what a loser. Yeah. But like, I look back now, like, yeah, I was broken, I was insecure, I was a loser. Now I look back and I'm like, I look at people now spending money, and I'm like, bro, you have free porn sites. Yeah. Like, I get you want to follow these girls and you're like, oh, I want to see their tits and whatnot. But like, are you that much of a fucking loser, bro? You got to spend $2.50 a month or $5 a month to see their boobs? Like, is your life that shit? Yeah. Like, and that's like this. I love the analogy with smoko trucks, bro. You ever been around a smoko truck? No. Smoko trucks on Trai sites, girls that are attractive drive these trucks. Right. You know why? Because men love women. They love attractive women. They don't even want the food, bro. They just want the attention. They want to be able to speak to them and look at something. Like, bro, I used to fuck girls on sites that used to come out of these job sites. I used to feed them full of rack and then fuck them on the job site. And like, the amount of men, fat men, as soon as the smoker drop, I was like, oh yeah, get old, love, get old. I just want to have a perv, And like, I'm just like, these girls, these business owners are smart. They are capitalizing on a weak fucking society. And like I said, like I don't condone OnlyFans, and like God forbid my daughter ever comes to me and says, "Hey, Dad, I'm doing it." But I do congratulate my friends that I know that are
Because there's a market for it.
because they're capitalizing on that market, and good on them. But also, shame on men.
That's right.
Like, yous are fucking losers, bro. Sorry to anyone that's watching. Sorry to anyone that's watching. If you're buying OnlyFans, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like I said, they're capitalizing on a weak society. Good on them. But also, it's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. And I think too, man, it's making men weaker. Like, it's sedating them when you should be up doing shit. You should be up doing...
You should just like thrive. Like, yes, all these women that you follow, they're very attractive and you want to see their boobs, but like that should ignite a fire in you. Like, okay, how can I get a girl that's attractive? What can I do within myself instead of sitting here pulling my dick for $5 a week of Old Love's OnlyFans? How can I put myself in a position to attract someone that I follow on Instagram? What can I do? Instead of like, just say, oh, fuck that, I'm going to go gym and get in good shape and work on myself, just pay fucking $10, $20 a month and then pay $75 for their fucking video that they send out every week. Like, it's fucking sad, bro. Like, I feel that every man, like fitness and health, being in good shape, will take you very far in life. You know, whether people think so or not, it reduces a lot of problems, makes you very much well respected. And a lot of people instantly look at you and they think, okay, if you're fat and overweight, yes, there are successful people that are fat or overweight, but if you're in good shape, even if you're not successful, people automatically respect you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it'll put you in much better positions being in good shape, being a respectful man than being a fat loser.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I get there's people with health issues and whatnot, but if you don't have health issues and you can be in a position to be in shape and you're choosing not to, you're a loser.
Yeah. I agree, man. Yeah, we could talk for hours about this whole situation with the dating scene, and I've talked about this on numerous podcasts about the dilemmas that are happening in the world right now within dating. It's not looking good, man. It really isn't. Like, we're seeing divorce rates go through the roof, mental health go through the roof. We're seeing a declining birth rate. We've also got men and women drifting further and further apart. But dude, it's been fucking insightful having a chat with you, and yeah, man, you're a remarkable person and what you have done, and a lot of men too. I think they need role models, and especially people like you. You're a spokesperson on, because you've been down that path. You know what it's like, and you can help a lot of fucking people.
That's my plan, bro. Like, for me, my biggest goal in life now is just create as many good men to create better fathers.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's just all about looking at like making fathers be better, because like it's just sad. I'm now understanding the importance that dads have in lives.
100%.
Now I just want to show these men the importance and be like, boys, like you don't have to just be a financial provider. You can be in good shape. You can be respectful. You can be, you know, a loving, caring father that shows nurturing side. You know, that's what you should be doing. Like, you just get out of this mentality of I just go to work every day and that's enough. Like, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That's not enough. It's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so for me now, that's my only goal in life, bro, is to just create better humans.
Yeah.
So that way more kids have better fathers.
Yeah. 100%, bro. Awesome, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, bro.